So today is going to be March Q&A answers, and I have the questions here in front of me. I did not list people's names with the questions. I just copied and pasted the questions. So you know who you are as I answer these. So let's just go ahead and get into it. First question, do you like bugs? Yes, I do like bugs. I like crickets, I like ladybugs, I like roly-polies. If I ever see a bug in the house, I will try my best to take it outside. That includes spiders. So yeah, I don't like killing bugs. The only exception would maybe be like a cockroach, just because they're kind of scary. But I can't remember the last time I actually encountered a cockroach and what I did with it when I did encounter it. So if I found one now, maybe I would try and take it outside. But I don't know. As a kid, I played with worms. Like I fucking loved worms as a kid, and I loved crickets. Like I would get like little miniature fish tanks and put like a bunch of sticks and dirt and like tree like twigs and all that, and put it into the fish tank and make like a little home. You could put some water in there and put like I don't know what kind of like food I put in there, but I was totally bug obsessed as a kid. Like I was the bug catcher. So yes, I still like bugs to this day. Alright, and then this next person, who actually, oh, his name's at the end of it, Andy, he wrote me several questions. The first one being, do you think there is a lot of prejudice out there towards mentally ill people? Yes, I do. Especially, like, number one, which I think most everyone notices, is in the homeless community. There are many people who have schizophrenia who are out on the streets and they are treated like utter trash. Like they don't mean anything. Like I was at a restaurant one time and I was walking out and there was a guy who obviously was hearing voices, or he was having a delusion, or he was hallucinating in some way, some manner, and the owner was like, oh, you guys, don't worry. The owner came out of the building, out of the restaurant, and was like, don't worry, you guys, I got the cops called. Like, he didn't do anything. He doesn't need the cops. What he needs is he needs help. He needs, like, actual mental health care. He just doesn't need the cops to, arrest him, or probably he's homeless. They probably won't even do that. I don't know. What do cops usually do to homeless people? Other than tell them to move or to go away. But I don't know, that's getting off topic. But yeah, homeless or mental illness in the homeless community, they are so mistreated. It's awful. And I think mental illness in schools is another place where a lot of times it's very misunderstood. If you have very, very bad anxiety and you're taking a test and just like say you can't take the test just because your anxiety is that bad, but getting accommodation from the teacher to maybe take the test at a later date, or maybe not later date but an earlier date, a time where you would feel maybe more comfortable, where there's not other people around you taking that same test and you feel a little bit more at ease. Like some teachers would be willing to do that, but I can tell you a lot of teachers wouldn't. So I think that, and you can't say, well, I need to take this test early because I have social anxiety and taking it in front of a bunch of other people makes it really hard for me. Well, you can't really say that because the teacher is really not going to understand. More likely than not, they're going to be like, okay, that's just another excuse, whatever. So, those are just a couple examples there of how mentally ill people are mistreated, but yeah, they really are. Even professionals mistreat people. I had a psychiatrist who I would tell her my psychosis stories, and she would just laugh at me. She would laugh in my face and be like, "You're crazy. What's wrong with you? That's a really weird thing that would happen." And it's like, this is your job. You're a professional. You were supposed to understand me, and you were supposed to take what I'm saying at face value and use it to help get me better. Use it to help get me on the right medication or the right therapy method if you're a therapist. And she just laughed at me. Like, someone in our mental health community is against us, and that's totally messed up. I mean, I see the same thing in mental hospitals, patients being mistreated. Just the nurses or the techs not being considerate and understanding and just being kind of harsh and using punishment. And you can't do that. You have to, the world of mental health is a place that calls for compassion and understanding. And without that, then we're getting nowhere. Like, we're getting nowhere at all. So, sorry I kind of went on a rant there, but that is how I feel about it, and I think that things definitely need to change. Yeah. Okay. Anyway, next question. How well do you think you would deal with living alone and not having a lot of support? Well, I do live alone in an apartment by myself. It's okay right now. I think in the past it wouldn't have been when I was going between a lot of medications or when I wasn't on medication at all. Let me take that back. I did live alone by myself when I wasn't on medication, and I actually had my boyfriend at the time force me to go get help because I would be sleeping all day, I'd be in the corner crying, and I would just be a mess. So I did get help while I was living alone. So, and I'm getting help now, obviously, now that I'm living alone. So I think that you can live by yourself as long as you're getting the proper help in order to cope with your issues. So as far as having support goes, I have the support of my parents. They're very supportive with me, and they help me out if I ever need help. And I have support of friends who are there for me when I need them to talk to. So there's that, and yeah, so I do have support, and I am okay living on my own because I have that. I'm getting the help that I need, and I do have a support system, so I'm okay living on my own. Now, when circumstances totally change, and instead of waking up every day to no obligations, and I have to wake up and I have to go to work every day from 8 to 5 days a week, and I start school back up, so I go to work, and then I come home, and then I do schoolwork for my psychology degree, then I don't know how well I'm going to cope with that, because that is just a buttload of stress just added on suddenly and instantly, and I don't know how that's going to affect me. I hope I can handle it, of course, obviously I hope I can, but we're just going to have to find out, and I might need to make some changes, I don't know, so we'll see how that works, but right now I am doing okay on my own. Okay, let's see. Number 3, if you encountered a mentally ill person being bullied, what would you do to help them, or what advice would you offer? Well, I mean, as far as the homeless person example that I gave earlier, I never have gone up to a homeless person who was obviously in some sort of episode, just because I think that could be, they could be violent. They're probably not going to be violent because that's a myth in schizophrenia, that schizophrenics are often violent. They're actually more often not violent than they are. So, but just the fact that they could have anger problems or they could lash out at me, I don't approach them. I feel sorry for them as I walk by, but I don't approach them actually. I don't know what I would say if I did. It would be nice to help them out. I don't know how I would though. That's something that, I don't know, maybe I should even look into. I don't know where I would start into looking into that, but just how do you create a better environment for a homeless person or how do you support them in their mental illness? Yeah, I don't know. I would love to help them, but I don't know how. As far as for, well, okay, let's hypothetically, if there were a group of people bullying someone who was homeless, like schizophrenic out on the street, then I would intervene. I would tell them to stop and to leave that person alone. If I had to break out my fucking stun gun and threaten them, then I would, just to get them to leave that person alone. Now, and it depends, again, if it's like kids beating up on the guy, then I would probably step in. But if it's like a bunch of like older guys who they can maybe be like in some kind of gang or something, then I don't know if I would mess with that, just because I don't know if they have guns or they have knives or whatever. So that might be a bad situation to get in. But because you gotta look out for yourself. Like, first and foremost, you are your number one. As much as you want to help other people, you still have to put yourself first. You know what I mean? So I would break it up if I thought that I could handle the people that were bullying the person. As far as what kind of advice I would offer, well, I would tell them, say the bullying already happened, say it was like somebody that was at work who was showing some signs of depression or anxiety, and they were being bullied by someone else, and it was all said and done. As far as advice that I would give them is, I would tell them to take it with a grain of salt. The person who's bullying you obviously doesn't understand your problem and doesn't understand where you're coming from, or the severity of your illness, or even the name of your illness. Like, they don't know. They're just judging you based off what they see from our culture, whether it be movies or TV, or just what they see in the news maybe. So I would just tell them to relax and let them know that I'm there, that I understand. If they ever do want to talk, they can talk to me. And yeah, that's pretty much what I would do. Number 4, what goals have you set for the future, or where would you like to be in your life in the future? So in the future, I will be going, I've already completed 1 semester of starting to get my bachelor's and then my master's in psychology. And I will be, as soon as I get a job, I will be starting school up again, and I will be doing it online. So I'll be able to do it with a full-time 8 to 5 job, and that's my goal. And then as far as what I want to do after that, I think with that degree, I either want to teach or counsel. And I know I have to choose that. I have to have a focus once I go into my master's. So I have my bachelor's to kind of decide what I want to do. But once I start my master's, I have to focus on something. So I'm really torn between teaching and counseling. I think both are great. Like, I want to be an educator, because, I think on YouTube I'm sort of an educator, but I also want to help people. So counseling, you have the helping people factor there. So I don't know, because I want to do both. I want to teach, or I want to educate, and I want to help at the same time. So if I can do a combination of those two, I don't know. All I know is I have a passion for psychology and mental health, and I want to do something in this field. Like, I'm already doing something by doing YouTube, so I think I would be happy with most, well, not anything, but most careers or jobs that are offered in the field of psychology. I would probably be happy with. So once I get started on my master's degree, I will come back with a definite answer for you on what I have chosen. Okay, and that was all of his questions. And final question is, what is your average day like? So my average day would be, let's see, it really depends. Like, as of recently, in the past few weeks, I started seeing somebody, and I have been spending a lot of time with him, so my days have been a little bit different. But Typically they are, I wake up at like 11 to noon, probably closer to noon. I feed my cats, I make some coffee, I check the internet, maybe check YouTube, and I talk to people on Google Hangouts sometimes, some of my friends on there. After that, I get something to eat, I make myself a smoothie or eat a bagel or something. And then I may watch an episode or two of something on Netflix or just on my computer. And depending on the day, I may go out and run an errand, like go to Target or go to the grocery store, or go buy cat food. I actually need to order cat food online. That just made me think of that. But yeah, so I do that, or some days, like if it's a Monday or Tuesday, I have a friend who's off on those days, so I may hit her up on a Monday or Tuesday during the afternoon or evening, and we'll do something together for the day. My boyfriend is off on Wednesdays and Thursdays, so usually I'm with him on one or both of those days. And then on the weekend, I have a lot of friends who are in like the service industry, so they're working on the weekends. So I don't hang out with people on the weekends as much lately, just because they're always working. But I might hang out with someone on the weekend if somebody has a day off. Or also my parents may come over, or I may go to my parents' house and we'll get lunch or dinner together, or just spend some time together visiting. And yeah, so that's essentially what I do. Like just like watch Netflix or read or play my DS are the things that I do for leisure or for fun. And then yeah, I spend a lot of time on YouTube, so I guess throw that in there as well. And play with my cats, of course, that's one thing that I do. But yeah, I mean, after I get a job, I mean, it's going to be really easy to tell you what I do in a day. I get up, I go to work, and I come home, work on some homework, go to bed, rinse, and repeat. And that's going to be my life for like 5 years while I get this master's degree. So, yeah, so then it'll be a lot more structured, which I hope is going to be a good thing. But as of right now, it's not. I just kind of do what I want, and I'm kind of really lazy. So I would like to get out of that laziness. So I'm looking forward to having more of like a normal kind of life. But yeah. So that is it for the questions. I hope you guys enjoyed this video and enjoyed my answers. If you did, please give it a thumbs up or leave a comment below. And I always try and reply to my comments, so if you guys leave a comment, please do expect a reply. And just if you have not subscribed already, I would very much appreciate it if you did. So that is all for me for today. And I will talk to you all in my next video. And I hope you all have a wonderful weekend. Thanks guys. Bye.